the GOAT.
We want that pit bull. We want that pit bull.
Facts.
Bring Pitbull over here.
Hey, isn't he fighting someone?
You fight Pitbull?
Probably.
Pitbull get knocked out.
Pitbull with it, slept.
Straight up.
You lost, look, Pitbull.
Bro, I already know. Bro, he get hit by any of them bricks. This man got
100.
Ryan Garcia strongly indicated in a Friday post on his X social media account that his next opponent will be recent WBA junior welterweight champion Isaac Pitbull Cruz. I'm bringing an explosive fight in my comeback. Pitbull has always been considered a tough opponent, Garcia posted, adding a swipe at his rival and planned October opponent, former two-division champion Devin Haney, by writing, "Tougher matchup than Haney, to be honest." A source close to Cruz told Boxing Scene on Friday afternoon that there are in-progress talks before finalizing Garcia-Cruz.
I'm sleeping Pitbull.
Dunzo.
I don't care what nobody said, bro.
Straight Dunzo.
And he always want to call me a fake Mexican. Winner,
Right.
hey, winner's the real Mexican. Ooh, let's do it.
Straight like that.
Straight like that.
The Garcia-Cruz bout is tentatively planned to be part of a spectacular outdoor show in New York's Times Square in early May, which would also include a Haney fight with former unified 140 pounds champion Jose Ramirez tabbed as the top choice for an opponent by Saudi Arabia power broker Turki Al-Alshik. Earlier this week, on a list posted by his magazine, Ring, Al-Alshik was said to be in advanced talks for fights this year with Garcia, Haney, and Cruz, whose advisor Sean Gibbons visited London and the Ring's awards gala last weekend. As reported first by Boxing Scene, Al-Alshik is planning rematch and trilogy bouts in October and February for Garcia and Haney.
Yo no me cierro, como lo he dicho, yo aquí estoy para pelearle ahora en 140 y demostrarle que estamos igual de fuertes o más fuertes que en 135 y también callarle la boca.
I'm not about to dodge Ryan Garcia. I'm ready to fight him on 140 if he wants to. I'm ready.
Bitter rivals since their amateur days, Garcia and Haney staged a controversy-filled April 20th bout that was later ruled a no contest by the New York State Athletic Commission because Garcia tested positive 3 times for the banned performance-enhancing medication after missing weight by more than 3 pounds and knocking down Haney 3 times in the bout at Brooklyn's Barclays Center. Garcia was suspended for 1 year by NYSAC. The unbeaten Haney has opted to take that time off, vacating his World Boxing Council 140 pounds belt. Somewhat surprisingly, both fighters will return from more than a year-long layoff to meet distinguished foes. Cruz, March 1st, 26, punished Rolly Romero by 8th round TKO on March 30th to capture the World Boxing Association 140 pounds belt, only to lose it by having a problematic time in the second of 3 bouts against a taller left-hander, Mexico's Jose Rayo Valenzuela.
I want all the smoke.
You heard it. You heard it first, too.
And I'm going to be in Mexico soon.
Facts.
Right? We going to Mexico?
Very soon.
We're going to meet the president of Mexico? Possibly? Maybe. Low-key? Never mind. This is all low-key. My bad.
Garcia, of course, is a taller left-hander. Both Garcia and Cruz have been defeated by unbeaten World Boxing Association lightweight champion Gervonta "Tank" Davis. As a replacement for Davis in December 2021, Cruz went the distance with Davis, losing narrowingly by scores of 115, 113, 115, 113, 116, 112. Davis knocked out Garcia in the 7th round of their April 2023 bout in Las Vegas. In the meantime, Cruz is headed to a comeback bout from the Valenzuela loss against countryman Angel Fierro, February 2nd, 23, in the pay-per-view co-main event at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. The card is topped by a meeting of unbeaten light heavyweights, World Boxing Council interim title holder David Benavidez versus World Boxing Association secondary titleist David Morrell, Jr. Action fighter Fierro is expected to provide Cruz the type of slugfest he craves. In a conversation with Boxing Scene earlier this month, Cruz said, "This is the perfect type of fight to jump back on the big stage and restart the hype I had before my last fight. I want that hype for me to fight Ryan Garcia. That's still my focus. People would love to see me jump in there and slap Ryan Garcia around." Advisor Gibbons said then that he is hopeful Cruz adds a more fevered pitch of anticipation to a Garcia showdown. Ryan may run for the hills if Isaac looks so strong, but Ryan should come right back into a tough fight, especially when he looked so good knocking Devin Haney to the floor 3 times, Gibbons said. Ryan wants only big fights, so why not Isaac Cruz? After Isaac Cruz gave up on his years-long pursuit of a rematch with Gervonta Tank Davis, the popular lightweight champion from Mexico City had another target in his sights. Actually an old one, as Cruz hoped to unearth past business with Ryan Garcia. He said, "I am no longer waiting on Gervonta Davis, or you can say Abdul Wahid, Davis's chosen Muslim name," Cruz told reporters in a quote provided through Manny Pacquiao's MP Promotions.
Y yo estoy dispuesto para enfrentarlo también.
I can fight everybody. Everybody doesn't have afraid for a fight with me. I be ready for fighting.
Ryan Garcia has been calling us out for the last few fights. That's the fight I want and what my promoter wants for me. Call your attorney, Guadalupe Valencia, and quit running, Poodle. The world champion contender had applied heavy pressure on a second bout versus Davis. With the benefit of a full training camp for both in preparation for each other, the cries fell on deaf ears even though both were under the Premier Boxing Champions PBC umbrella and Cruz had risen to the top of the WBA lightweight rankings.
Now, do you think he is staying in that division? He talked about possibly going to 147. What do you make of everything that happened in the lead up to the fight with Devin Haney?
¿Qué piensas acerca de que, pues, como el mindset, se refiere a mindset como lo que se programó Ryan Garcia, que se mantiene en la 147?
Cruz then turned to Garcia, who as at the time, just rebounded from an April 22nd knockout loss to Davis with an 8th round knockout of Mexico's Oscar Duarte last December 2nd in Houston, Texas. Garcia has since publicly called for, in order, a shot at WBA junior welterweight title holder Rolando Rolly Romero, a high-profile showdown versus unbeaten 2-division champ Devin Haney, and back to Romero, whom he hopes to face this spring. A fight between Garcia and Cruz was previously ordered by the WBC in 2022 as a planned title eliminator.
Para el mes de abril me gustaría enfrentar a Ryan Garcia. Recalcar que tanto Ryan como yo queremos la pelea. Nuestros managers están de acuerdo, nuestros promotores también están de acuerdo, las promotoras de ambos están de acuerdo.
Garcia and Golden Boy Promotions publicly expressed interest in the fight. However, Cruz was unavailable at the time, as was already committed to a fight versus Eduardo Zurdito Ramirez. Isaac Pitbull's Cruz was unavailable for various reasons, Sean Gibbons, Cruz's rep and hype man, told reporters, but the time is now. Pitbull has accepted Ryan Garcia's challenge. This is the fight we want for Isaac Pitbull Cruz, no question. So what's your excuse now, Ryan? Notably, the World Boxing Council had previously ordered that they fought against each other in the past. The World Boxing Council, WBC, ordered a lightweight world title elimination fight between Ryan Garcia while he was unbeaten and contender Isaac Cruz. Mauricio Suleiman, the sanctioning body's president, announced back then.
También estaban todos de acuerdo que se lleve esta gran pelea. La única razón para que no se dé esta pelea, que no se cierren las negociaciones, se debe gracias a Lupe Valencia.
Representatives for both fighters were given 30 days to negotiate a deal before a June 14th purse bid. A deal between Garcia and Cruz, ranked number 5 and 6 respectively, by the ring at 135 pounds, was quite difficult to make due to promotional and network deals. Garcia was and is still promoted by Golden Boy Promotions, which streams its fights on DAZN, and Cruz was represented by manager Sean Gibbons and fights under the Premier Boxing Champions, PBC banner, with fights that take place on PBC cards live on Showtime.
Por la que Guadalupe Valencia no quiere esta pelea es porque no tiene la confianza en su peleador y está buscando una pelea fácil como las que siempre le han puesto a él. Yo estoy aquí para darle problemas a su carrera.
Garcia, who is originally from Victorville, California, was ranked number 2 by the World Boxing Council, behind mandatory challenger Vasily Lomachenko, while Cruz was ranked number 4 by the sanctioning body, based in Mexico City. The winner of the fight between Garcia and Cruz was to become the mandatory challenger to face WBC title holder Devin Haney, who would face Ring Magazine champion George Kambosos in Melbourne, Australia, as Lomachenko was not available to fight after he returned to his native Ukraine to fight against the invasion from Russia.
Josh Shakur, he said that, he's this guy that will fight anybody, but everybody that's called him out, he found a way out of it.
So you definitely think Pitbull's not going to be...
I'm so excited. This fight just got ordered by the World Boxing Council. So little chance this man escaped from his fate when he entered the ring with me, stated Garcia to his followers on Twitter and several million on Instagram. Let's go, Pitbull roof time to make this happen. Don't do anything weird. Let's give the fans what they want.
Y demostrarles que Isaac el Pitbull Cruz está más que listo que él y ganarle arriba del ring. Gracias.
Now everyone's excited to see, you back in the ring.
However, the fight between Garcia and Cruz was eyed for the same April 9th card, but promotional and network issues reportedly got in the way, and it never held. And once his win against Devin Haney was sealed, Ryan Garcia called out Isaac Cruz for the fight between them that had never happened.
Fighters. What did you make of Ryan Garcia's victory against Devin Haney?
Esta división tiene muy grandes oponentes. ¿Cómo visualizas la victoria?
Isaac Cruz pointed that out in an interview. Isaac Pitbull Cruz didn't seem impressed with Ryan Garcia's entertaining 3-knockdown victory over previously undefeated Devin Haney on April 20th. Instead, Cruz, the popular World Boxing Association 140-pound champion, was more focused on Garcia blowing the weight by 2 pounds at the weigh-in than what he did the next day, labeling him as frivolous and unserious.
Para el mes de abril me gustaría enfrentar a Ryan Garcia. Recalcar que tanto Ryan como yo queremos la pelea. Nuestros managers están de acuerdo. Nuestros promotores.
Ryan Garcia doesn't take things seriously, said Cruz, who was in Manhattan, New York on Wednesday to formally announce his match with Jose Valenzuela for his World Boxing Association belt on August 3rd in Los Angeles, on a stacked card headlined by Terrence, Crawford, Israel, Madrimov.
También están de acuerdo. Las promotoras de ambos están de acuerdo. También están todos de acuerdo que se lleve esta gran pelea. La única razón para que no se dé esta pelea, que no se cierren las negociaciones, se debe gracias a Lupe Valencia, que no está de acuerdo para que se lleve a cabo. Tanto Ryan como yo estamos listos.
Even when he comes to the weigh-in, he's overweight by 3 pounds, Cruz told a group of reporters following the press conference. He doesn't take anything seriously. He needs to be more focused on training, and he needs to be more serious. Garcia called out Cruz following the win against Haney, and Cruz wasn't surprised. It's not the first time, he said. It's been a lot of times he's said he wants to fight, I'm ready, and I want to fight him.
What do you make of Ryan missing weight by such a large amount, Isaac?
¿Qué piensas que Ryan tomó a la ligera sobre esta pelea?
Pues yo creo que en general un poco su campamento porque pues en el peso.
After the match against Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia has called out tons of fighters, and Isaac Cruz was one of them. As early as his post-match interview, he said, "I don't think Tank's going to beat Frank Martin, but if he did, he wouldn't fight me because I'm moving up." Garcia said, "I'm not doing 140. I'm going 147. I can't make a freaking 140. I never even technically fought at 140. I fought every time at 143. My body can't literally go lower than 143. It's impossible. I tried every technique. Can't do it." With plans to go up in weight, Garcia had at least one name in mind for a future opponent, although he's not cemented on anything just yet. "I had a vision to fight Sebastian Fundora at 154 pounds, Garcia said.
I shook. I was shaking in the bed. Like, shit was crazy.
Ryan. All right there.
Ike Feldman with Give Me Sport. I know you guys just mentioned Davis.
I don't know why. I just feel I could knock him out. I know that's really random. I just feel like I could get the title at 154. I fought guys that big before and I've knocked them out in sparring. Cold, slept them. I want to do it. Shout out Fundora, no disrespect. However, with his choice to leave the 140-pound division, it might be even more difficult to fix a match with Cruz. Well, it's quite complimentary that even Pitbull Cruz is no longer interested in a fight against Ryan Garcia following his doping claims.
Estamos enfocados para la pelea. La razón por la que Guadalupe Valencia no quiere esta pelea es porque no tiene la confianza en su peleador y está buscando una pelea fácil como las que siempre le han puesto a él. Yo estoy aquí para darle problemas a su carrera.
The popular Cruz battered Rolando Raleigh Romero for an 8th-round technical knockout last month to wrest control of the belt, while Valenzuela recorded a highlight reel 6th-round knockout over Chris Colbert in a December rematch. There have been rumblings that Cruz could face Gervonta "Tank" Davis later this year in a rematch of their exciting 2021 match, which saw Davis win a close decision if he prevails against Valenzuela. The poker face Cruz is open to that fight and others. "I'm ready to fight anyone," Cruz said. "I'll listen to my team and we'll make the best decision."
After the fight, Isaac, I spoke to Henry Garcia and he said he wants to fight you. You were one of the names mentioned. Ryan Garcia wants to fight you next. Open to that, would you like?
But it must be noted that fighting anyone to Isaac Cruz doesn't include Ryan Garcia. And while people like Isaac Cruz, the Haneys, and countless other professionals have stood against Ryan Garcia, it's quite shocking that he's been supported by Gervonta "Tank" Davis.
De cerrar un excelente año y pues qué mejor que sea con una gran pelea con Ryan Garcia.
Yes.
Surprisingly, Gervonta Davis has stood behind Ryan Garcia all through these allegations. World Boxing Association champion and Mexico City native Isaac "Pitbull" Cruz had once vowed to make his country proud and solidify his status in the star-studded 135-pound division when he faced Giovanni Cabrera in a WBC and WBA lightweight title eliminator that served as the Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Crawford co-main event. "I am ready to put Mexico on top once again and show that I am meant to go up against the best," said Cruz. "I'm making sure that I'm working harder and smarter and making the most of everything I do in the gym. It's not just about how hard you hit, you gotta be smart and have your punches connect in the way that you meant them to land all along."
Pues fue buena, ahora sí que no esperábamos lo que toda la gente quería ver. Fue un peleador apático que nada más vino a abrazar, pero contentos por la victoria.
It was a nice fight.
It may sound cliche, but it truly is about dedication, hard work, and discipline. Being just a regular fighter is taking the easy way out. Saying no to a glass of water or to being with friends is hard. What we do is beautiful, but it's hard. If you want to be an elite athlete, you have to learn how to live with sacrifice. Coming from a family full of professional boxers, including his father and grandfather, Cruz is no secret to the sacrifices his chosen profession requires at the highest level. Although he laments the time missed with his wife and children, it acts as motivation for him to perform at his best. "The hardest thing I ever had to do was that I had to tell my wife and kids today, I can't take you for ice cream," said Cruz.
It probably wasn't what the people wanted to see, since he was like relentless to actually getting into the boxing match. And
"I'm fortunate that I train close to them, but I still miss them a lot. At the end of the day, it only makes it more important that I make the most of these sacrifices and fight to my full ability. I fight at my best because of the love and support I receive from my family." The 26-year-old Cruz has become a fan favorite amongst the passionate Mexican fans due to his all-action style that calls back to many of boxing's most memorable Mexican champions and contenders. Although he's competed at lightweight throughout his career that dates back to 2015, he has no plans of leaving the division and hopes to continue to develop his relationship with fans against the weight class's other stars. "I'm totally focused on staying at 135 pounds because it's where I feel strongest and most comfortable," said Cruz.
I mean, thank God that the outcome was good.
Are you surprised that it was a split decision?
¿Está sorprendido que fue una decisión dividida?
"I just want to give everyone watching a great show. I've made a connection with the fans because I showed that I'm not afraid to fight the best. I have no fear, just resolve." Since giving unbeaten superstar Gervonta "Tank" Davis a tough test in their December 2021 clash, Cruz has set his sights on a rematch against the WBA lightweight title holder. "I want the American fans to know me as well as the Mexican fans, so I have to go up against the very best," said Cruz. "First, I want that rematch with Gervonta Davis no matter what. After that, I want to face Devin Haney and Vasyl Lomachenko."
Anything could happen in Vegas. I mean, he wasn't the exception, and he doesn't know what the judges were looking at, because I mean, it was obvious that he should have.
In 30 professional fights spanning 10 years, Tank has steamrolled through the competition with 25 knockouts. Davis's toughest test to date came in 2021 when he faced Isaac "Pitbull" Cruz. When Isaac Cruz stepped in on just over 1 month's notice to face Gervonta "Tank" Davis, many fans and media members felt Davis was going to face a much easier test than his originally planned bout with Rolando Romero. It's hard to imagine that was incorrect after Cruz was able to give Davis almost all he could handle for 12 rounds at Los Angeles Staples Center before Davis was able to pull out a narrow, unanimous decision win.
It should have been just unanimous decision.
The Showtime unofficial, they had it 8-4. Is that how you felt?
Que las cartas no oficiales.
Davis was able to land many of his trademark power shots in a rare role as the taller man in the fight, but even as his heavy hooks and uppercuts landed, Cruz never appeared hurt. That may have been a product of Davis suffering a hand injury midway through the fight. Still, authorities need Garcia to enroll in voluntary anti-doping association testing before moving forward. Garcia has criticized the agency that found 2 of his first fight samples positive, and he has expressed discomfort in relying on its findings, although Alal Sheikh retains VADA for drug testing for most of his top-tier fight cards.
Garcia, what were your thoughts, man? ¿Cuál es tu reacción de la pelea de Devin Haney contra Ryan Garcia? ¿Qué piensas, Garcia?
Pues ahora sí que fue una sorpresa, no pensé que iba a ganar Ryan.
WBC and everyone involved in the fight said they can't have this fight done without VADA. I don't know why or what's that about, but VADA has to be involved. I am also using another drug testing as well as VADA, Garcia posted to his X account Friday. I've always said yes to testing, never thought it would be forced onto me by everyone, that it had to be VADA. Pretty strange. If you really care about the integrity of the sport and it being clean, why would it matter who's testing me? Wouldn't it be simpler for me to get tested year-round by a credible organization, instead of insisting it has to be a specific organization? Answer that question.
Pero fue una sorpresa que yo creo que en lo personal me llevé y a mucha gente.
That was a surprise. I didn't believe that it would happen in all the people.
Why isn't anyone talking about Haney conditioning advisor Victor Conti and his influence in VADA? Prior cheater, who's to say he isn't pulling strings? VADA's International Boxing Hall of Fame inductee director, Margaret Goodman, has frowned upon Garcia's prior verbal swipes at her company, and it is believed that once Garcia enrolls in VADA, there will be conditions with penalties to halt his public criticism of the company, and that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.